I'm gonna play the Shannon Sharpe segment, and this is him talking on Nightcap about Amanda Seals and what his thoughts are on him.
Hello, it's your favorite sports thunk here. Don't forget, it doesn't happen with Lord. See the interview with Amanda Seals.
I missed it. I missed it. I keep seeing all the tweets,
clips.
and all the tweets are the same. I can't believe I agree with Amanda Seals. So does everyone not like Amanda Seals or something? I don't know the backstory, but for some reason, whatever she said, it must have been good because everybody agrees with her. Whatever it may be.
Yeah, she was.
People are sheep.
Hollywood, especially Black Hollywood, is kind of shunned her, and everybody is kind of shaped through their childhood and their personal experience. So you see things, you see life through your prism, your lens.
Right.
And so she's had some things happen in her life that kind of makes her ultra defensive. She's a highly intelligent woman, very intelligent, very well read. But I think sometimes, she thinks everybody's out to get her. And so until she's comfortable with you, she's going to keep that guard up. She's going to keep the guard up. Because I asked her for a hug earlier. She's like, nah, I don't hug. I asked her, I said, give me some doubt. She ain't want to give me no doubt. But once I told her, I said, Amanda, this is a safe space. You can tell your story.
Right.
She saw it back. She paused. She's like, can I have a hug? And then she was cool. I think a lot of things and people like, I was trying to invalidate her experience. No, I wasn't. It's the same thing I told Monique when Monique said, I was trying to get this role and Oprah told me to go blah, blah, blah for.
Right.
And she ended up getting the role. I said, well, Monique, did you ever think that they were looking for a Black heavyset woman and you two were probably the only two in Hollywood? And she said, oh, okay. That makes sense. Right. And so when she said the white lady had her teacher, I said, Amanda, did it ever cross your mind that, I don't know where you from, but where I grew up, Ocho, kids never corrected a parent or an adult.
Corrected?
Yes.
You muted.
You're mute.
You muted.
My bad. I said I did see that on Shay Shay, that part of the interview, and she shut down when he wouldn't validate her experience. Like when he pushed back a little bit, he basically got bullied in the interview because when he pushed back, she was trying. Okay, so this is the context. So she was saying that she was the only Black kid in the school, and then the white teacher had said something. And basically, she had corrected the teacher about the historical significance or what history really was, or whatever, so on and so forth, right? And I guess she got in trouble for it. And Shannon Sharpe was like, she was trying to say that the teacher was racist. And Shannon was like, well, where I'm from, teachers or adults in general are not interested in children correcting them, especially in public, in front of the class or in front of other people. So maybe it wasn't necessarily racism, but maybe it was the fact that they looked at it as disrespect. And she shut the fuck down and whatever, and she was going back and forth with him about, how can he validate her experience and all of this stuff. The same thing that we see a lot of these women do or whatever. But, it was basically, he was getting bullied in the interview, in my opinion. Because he was so busy trying to make sure that he validated her and made her comfortable versus... Because if he was going to do it that way, he should have just let her tell her story and just left it at that.
But then he wouldn't be in control of the interview.
Well, the control part, I think, because it is a balance. Because the control part is, like, if I do an interview, my goal is to keep them talking. I don't have an opinion unless we do something like me and A-Verb or something like that where we both just kicking it and having fun and talking shit, right? But if it's me interviewing you or me trying to get something up out of you, my goal isn't to tell you that you're right or wrong. I've evolved to the point to where I just want to get the information and then let the people that view the interview determine what it is that their opinion is because they're the ones that's observing. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that's being entertained as a result of it. But if you gonna go back and forth with somebody, then that's a completely different dynamic because I'm not gonna be bullied, but at the same time, I want to keep you talking so that I can get the most information out of you about what your thoughts are. I don't have an opinion one way or another.
But he says he's a like you guys are
Conversationalist.
having a conversation, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that's why he butts in sometimes, and which is fine. I like, his style. The problem is when he talks to certain people, he, especially somebody like Amanda, you already know what's going to happen if you say the wrong thing. Well, what happened? They got on him the next day about he doesn't have the range, he doesn't know this about black women, and he was
For
trying to
Shannon Sharpe,
avoid
yeah,
that.
I seen that too.
He was trying to avoid that, and that's why he was allowing her to talk, even when he wanted to say something.
That I seen that Twitter and all of that. Man, people flip on you so fast. When they
Yeah.
like you, that you up. When they don't like you, you down. And people just flip on you, bro. So I don't take. You gotta disconnect from what people think, and just completely remove yourself and do what it is that you know that you're gonna do. So I don't know.
And that's what I said. I said, Amanda, did you think maybe because you were a child, even though you were right, the mere fact that a child corrected an adult. Now,
Right.
maybe in today's time, that's fine. Maybe where in some places you grew up. But I don't ever remember being in a situation, a child couldn't even interrupt an adult conversation. You couldn't pull on your parents or your grandparents' leg and say, hey, 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 hey. I'm like, huh? No. So that's what I was saying. I said, maybe, Amanda, it wasn't racism. Maybe it was the fact that a child was correcting an adult. But that was her experience. That's what, and like I said, I mean, that's how she felt about it. But I enjoyed the interview. I enjoy talking to people. Yeah, I mean, everybody. And I try not, I do my research, but I try to go in with as clean a slate as I possibly can because I don't want what someone else has said about her to influence what I think of her.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna ask the questions, and then at the end of the day, hopefully when she sees it, she'll be pleased with the finished product. But I ain't got no problem with Amanda Seals. She was great. She's very funny. She has and I do believe some of the people have done her wrong. And I think a lot of because that's what you deal with. We all go through it. Dealing with men or women, you're not dating them, you're dating their childhood, their past traumas. That's what you got to get past.
I agree with him on that.
Yeah.
When he say that you date people's past traumas, but that's why we say that body count and stuff is so important because it's very, very rare for people to be able to get over the stuff that they've experienced
Quentin.
from the people that they previously had a relationship with. Very hard for people to get past that.
Soul ties.
You think so, Quentin?
No, I don't believe in
Quentin
that shit. We
Quentin
talk about that.
Quentin doesn't believe in soul ties. That's why he said it. He
Man, I
doesn't believe
don't.
it.
I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
believe
Maybe
it.
just my dad is just. I don't get any of this shit like soul ties. You dating someone from. I don't. I don't know. I guess I was just raised different to not be any of that.
You don't think
Quentin,
that you're
you
affected by
have
the people
to.
that you've dealt with in the past?
Not when I was a kid. Well, like not negatively. Like I took the positive stuff, and that affects who I am today, but not the negative stuff.
Bullshit. Bullshit. You say out of your own mouth that black women in general look at you a certain type of way. You don't go into
I,
every black woman that you deal with a clean slate. You go into it already understanding exactly how black women in the past um have
Treated you.
slotted you, right? And already prejudged you. And you bring that into new experiences and conversations.
no, it's a clean slate.
Fuck no, Quentin.
No, like I know, I'm like no, absolutely not. It's
You
Bullshit.
so
clean.
so
I'm
watch
like
this.
let me. I
Why do
let
you
them
why
reveal
don't you talk to black
themselves.
girls?
You say what?
Why don't you talk to black girls?
I do talk to black girls. Like, what is this? Like, I just have more success with other races. But I still talk to them.
Okay.
Quentin is
No, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with
capping.
it. We're just
He,
saying that your experiences do
You have
shape.
to understand the black women in 2024 love me. They see me and I'm put together. I'm not on no nigga shit. And they were like, all right, this nigga may be something.
Quentin.
What? That's fucked up, man. Like I do talk to black women. I just have more success with others. Dude. I'm not like I'm so headstrong and I'm so on point. Like I sit down with myself a lot and we think.
Quentin, you telling me you don't think that you're impacted or influenced by your past experiences
No,
with certain women?
I said my childhood. He said you're dating their childhood, not my past
Well,
experiences.
he's using it figuratively and just saying that you basically dealing with somebody based
That's
off of
too far back because I think I know like I
you
know
date their
what
childhood too.
my childhood was great.
Yeah, yours was, but what about the women, right?
You're
Listen,
still
so
dating your
I think
childhood.
that some of the reasons why a lot of these people, most of these people say that they gay is not because that's how they was born, it's how they was dealt with when they was children.
Hmm.
100%. How you was raised. Dudes be son husbands. They be raised to be simps. They've been touched on. They've been fucked on. They've been all emasculated. They got treated based off of the way that they projected. The woman projected the father. 1000%. You dating a person, in my opinion. This is why guys, a lot of times people say, I want to figure out whether or not she had her father in her life and stuff like that. And that don't necessarily mean that that translates either, but you got a better chance. And more importantly, you are dating a person's entire past because they can't forget it. They don't have the Men in Black pen to put in front of them and hit them with the and then that's it.
That's what I
You
was
dating
talking
a
to you about
person's
last time.
entire life experiences, all of
Yep.
that. They divorces, when some nigga said fuck her and they ran a train on her, all of those
Lord.
life experiences, good or bad, is shaping their narrative for how they see life and the people that they're gonna meet in the future. 1000%, bro.
Okay, I get how it can be like a woman thing because they hang on to shit, but as for
Men
myself,
do too.
Men too. Absolutely men too. 1000% men
How
too.
do you think most of the men get to the red pill in the first place? I see a lot of them come to the red pill because of how they've been treated by women. Some of them
hmm.
are frustrated. Some of them know. Some of them, automatically go into the, that type of thought process of, red pill. But a lot of them get there by how they were treated by women.
100%. I 100% agree. So you dealing with a person's entire past. Entire past. And that's why a lot of times I say, I can't unsee what I saw. Or that I would never get married again because I don't trust people. Not based off of what I see happening in the streets today. Hell no. Hell no. But I don't know. So this is I'm gonna skip past him because he just giving a general idea of, oh man, she's whatever she is, right? I guess this is her perspective. She went on her Amanda Seals show or whatever that shit is, and she was giving her perspective about it. And I haven't seen it yet, but I seen it pop up on my timeline. So I'm gonna play this out. This is only 5 minutes long, but I don't know if I'm gonna get through the whole thing.
Yes, y'all, this is the Amanda Seals Show. I am Amanda Seals, and it's time for another edition of I Be Knowing. So I did an interview on Club Shay Shay,
Jesus Christ.
and I don't know like how I feel about it. I have a lot of feelings about it because I sat back and watched it, and as I was watching it, I can see why people don't like me, but I don't have any desire to change those things about me. But I could see it. Like
This
I'm
is so
just so
dumb. What?
deliberate when I speak. I'm so deliberate and I'm so unwavering. And I can see why folks would hear that and hear a sternness in it, like a rigidity in it that feels like someone being scolded. So like I talk like a cop but I also
No, you
talk
don't.
like a teacher that wants you to learn. You know, like I talk like a parent, but then I also talk like a coach that really cares about you winning the game. And it ends up being perspective on how you receive that. And
Y'all can stop me at any time. Feel
She
free.
talks like that, like the friend from Blossom, the one that talks really fast. It's annoying. Stop
she's
it.
a she's a what I realized in watching that Shannon Sharpe interview is that her stories is they go off the rails often.
She's just like too in
Yeah.
your face. Like breathe, back up, and stop talking.
But when she talks, it goes like she's like, so this morning I was eating peanut butter, but wait, when I was eating the peanut butter and I opened the cabinet, it was like a spider in the cabinet, and
Yeah.
but yeah, then she comes back to the story and it's just like,
And
which
remember
story
she
am
was
I
talking about
interested in?
fishing? And it was only supposed to be like a metaphorical example where she was like, yeah, I would love to do a fishing show or whatever. Next thing you know, they started talking about fishing. Which I understand that part, right? Because you go into different things and we explore different things, but when you telling a story in an interview, that's much different than commenting on different things that we talking about as a show. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I don't know. Let me play a little bit more.
And, you know, while I was watching it, I had to do my own work to not let the negative thoughts that are always kind of just fluttering around in my head, waiting to get, caught onto. I had to really let that go and lean into the uniqueness of like what I just described, like the different perspectives. Because I think if all of us step back and watch ourselves, we will have critiques about ourselves. It's fascinating though, because majority of the people who would ever critique me, like they've never been interviewed and had to watch themselves, right? Or they've never even
that's a fact. That's a fact.
they've never
Yeah.
been in a situation where they had to be questioned and then now like go back. You know what I mean? Like oftentimes like people may be questioned even in an insular space, right? Like you're questioned by people that but it's private. And I think that there's just such a different experience when it's happening public, and I'm fearless about it, but it doesn't change like my feelings about it. So it ends up feeling a little bit conflicted. But nonetheless, I just want to thank anybody who felt like they got something positive out the interview and felt the need to share it with me. Um, it was a fascinating it was fascinating watching myself deal with someone coming at me.
Yeah.
like,
That's got to be a
'cause
different experience. Yeah. Yeah.
like I watched
But
myself
who
get
came at her?
tense, like
That's
I
why
like
my face went like that. Who's she talking about? Who came at her?
I think she's saying the Shannon Sharp's pushback on, for example, the whole teacher racism type of thing situation is supposed to be coming at her. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like
It's
everybody,
always
she
everybody else.
feels like she's a victim, so it's hard to talk to those type of people because even if you you can't tell them, no, you know what, I see it a little different, or you can't disagree with them without them feeling like it's pushback or we got issues or all of
Like
this
she would
shit. Like,
rage quit or some shit.
yeah, bro, I
Her,
don't like
her
being
and
around those
Monique.
type of people, bro. Cause it's like, oh, you the bad guy, or whatever. Like those are the type of people that you gotta watch. Cause next thing you know, they'll be on an interview talking about how they had a bad experience with you.
He doesn't push back on anybody though. Anybody on this platform is, which is kind of
I didn't look at this pushback.
he doesn't. I mean, Shannon never does. He lets them get their shit off and don't hold their feet to the fire at all about shit.
I didn't see no part where he was coming at her. As a matter of fact, I thought he kind of simped out a little bit, but
He
I don't
doesn't
know.
even tell people to expand on certain things. Cause like
Nope.
I
He
thought in the Cat Williams interview,
just
Cat
let
said a
them.
couple of things I would have okay, let's expand on this. Why did you say that?
Yep.
He just let it go and he'll move on to the next question.
And he
Yeah,
know better. That nigga got some shit to say. He just let him rock.
yeah, that's a fact. Let me play a little bit more of
I
this.
watched myself go from intense to untense. But it's funny. The person I'm talking to was like, "You ready to get canceled again tomorrow?" He's like, "I can't wait to watch. I'll hit
I
you
don't know who
back."
this
I
guy
was
is,
like,
but Must be a good friend of hers or something.
So, nonetheless,
He
the
played
moral of
it
the story
hard.
here for the I Be Knowing, though, is be kind with yourself and be gentle with yourself at the same time as being honest with yourself. And sometimes it feels like those two things cannot exist in the same space, but it's really at the end of the day only you that you can control, and you really can't control anybody else. And unfortunately, you just can't control their experiences. You can't control their perception. All you can really do is try your best. And one of the things that was fascinating while I was watching it was I was watching my autism.
Okay.
And
What?
it was things that
This pissed
Did
me
I miss
off.
I
something?
didn't like. I
No.
took really fast, and like when
Autistic in real
you'll
life,
see
she
like
says.
pockets of the interview where I'm like really.
Hold on. I gotta.
She said she says she's autistic.
And
How
she
the
said
fuck do
she was,
can autistic people?
they're normal.
Yes.
They just think a little
Yes.
different.
No. Can they self-diagnose?
No.
So what the fuck are we talking about?
I have a brother that's that has Asperger's. So that's when she said this pissed me off because
What is Asperger's? I don't know nothing about it. I'm
so
sorry.
Asperger's is a high functioning autistic person, right? You
Okay,
like
so you
if you
kind of
don't
say
know, you would
normal.
you would never know if you don't know, right? And usually they kind of have they don't always pick up on social cues and things like that. But you usually don't know it until you get diagnosed because it's so hard, right? So at the end of the day, I didn't know what she was talking about because it's not just a thing you just throw out there. That woman's nuts.
Yeah, this shit is weird. It's very, very weird. What up, 2K?
Hey, 2K.
So y'all, how y'all, man?
Let me play a little bit more of this, and then we're gonna finish
I was
this up.
doing better before we start listening to this Amanda chick.
It is
She's
weird, bro.
nuts.
It's really
She
weird.
don't even look
Seriously.
like the same person, like as the Club Shay Shay. Like she's like a different person today.
Yeah, it's weird. Hold on, let me play this.
Intensely talking about something. I'm really into it. And it's like, oh, and there's like a word for it. I'm still learning these things, but like there's a word for this. And it's like, I'm being castigated in the chat for this. Oh, she just talked too much. She just be talk dumping on people, like,
Talk dumping.
and
That's
then
a new word for me.
talk dumping, then I would see, myself trying to just like defend myself even when I shouldn't have to, right? Like I'm seeing like things about me being just like questioned that I didn't think deserved to be questioned, but nonetheless, it was really just interesting to just experience that as an outsider with this recent diagnosis, which some people have said like it's not a good idea to speak about your diagnosis. Well, I mean, it's not a good idea for me to be pro-Palestinian either, but here we are. So I think everything is relative. But
Somebody said she was clinically diagnosed. First of all,
No.
that shit don't mean nothing to me, even if it was a like, bro. You can.
Well,
Let me
that's
be
what she
quiet.
just said. She was just newly diagnosed.
Man,
On,
whatever,
on,
bro.
on Club Shay, she said she was self-diagnosed.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck is these people talking inside of the? Well, whatever. Let me be quiet.